Welcome to Living Down Under.
A real Australia.
Hello and welcome to Living Down Under. I'm Tessa Stephen and we're here at North Lakes, which is a suburb of Brisbane, about half an hour's drive from the city.
Coming up in this episode, I show you this relatively new area, which is a popular destination for new migrants. I feed the dolphins at Tin Can Bay and show you the amazing Rainbow Beach and Carlo Sand below. We talk with lifesavers at Maroochydore Beach and discuss beach safety. But first we visit Maryborough, situated on the Fraser Coast, one of Australia's fastest growing regions.
Maryborough was settled in 1847 and is one of Queensland's oldest provincial cities and also one of Australia's fastest growing regions. Located 3 hours from Brisbane, Maryborough was a major immigration port into Australia, and a visit to the Wharf Street precinct retains many reminders of this period. Today, Maryborough is widely recognised for the abundant examples of colonial and Queenslander architecture, majestic public buildings and beautiful gardens. Much of the city's character has been preserved in these classic buildings, mostly built of local timber in a range of sizes and designs. Once the lifeblood of the town, the Mary River is still a haven for pleasure craft, a source of excellent freshwater fishing and a beautiful backdrop for a lovely city. You can discover the fascinating port history of Maryborough at the Bond Store Museum and Customs House in the Wharf Street precinct. A popular tourist attraction is the bank building in which Pamela Lyndon Travers, the author of Mary Poppins, was born above in 1899.
Coming up later in this edition, I bring you to the beautiful Carlos Sandblow, which is near Rainbow Beach in southeast Queensland.
Tessa speaks with Narelle Souter from Maroochydore Surf Lifesaving Club.
So tell me a little bit about your involvement in the surf club here.
My involvement at the moment is I do patrols, and also I help on the volunteer committees that they have to raise the profile of the Surf Lifesaving Club. I've been involved since 1993. And have held a number of roles through here.
And what roles? What does that involve?
Surf Lifesaving relies heavily on contributions of people's time. It's a volunteer organisation, so it's raising awareness through training, also ensuring that the services that we provide here on the beach, which we are contracted with the local councils and also our parent organisations, that we fulfil those responsibilities. We have fun activities. I've helped with the junior activities. When I first joined, my son was a nipper, we called them in those days, and used to help going to carnivals and also doing the training on the beach.
So tell me a bit about the flag system that we've got here in Australia and how that differs from state to state.
In Queensland and New South Wales, we have very high visitations of population, both local and also from overseas tourists. So we tend to have a longer patrolling time. For example, in Queensland, in the southern side, from about Mackay South, our patrols in summer come from September through to May each year. But in North Queensland and through to Darwin, their actual season is in the winter time because that's when it's safest to swim up there. New South Wales is the same as we are in Queensland, so it's September through to May. And then Victoria, South Australia and WA, they have shorter seasons because obviously it's a lot colder for a lot longer, and they don't have the population visiting the beach as much. So here, this is a typical Saturday, Sunday and public holidays where our volunteers patrol, giving their services for free. And midweek we have the local council have paid lifeguards who come over and do a similar service, but it's a smaller amount of people.
Yeah, and our flag systems, the red and the yellow, you informed me this morning of their meaning, so would you like to share that again?
The red and the yellow is very significant. It's actually used by lifesavers right around the world. It's been adopted. But with the red flag on the top, we're actually advising that the ocean environment is always dangerous. It's something that you need to be aware of and always be cautious of and not become too complacent. However, we're indicating that we're giving you an area of safety where you can still swim with caution with the yellow underneath. So where you see the red and yellow flags, the best place to swim is actually between those two upright poles.
Because that's the patrolled area.
That's the patrolled area where there'll be people who will be vigilant and watch for you.
And the blue flags that are around today, what do those mean?
We understand in Surf Lifesaving that there are a number of people who will be using the water environment. So the blue flag is actually an area to give us a buffer between the safe bathing area, the red and yellow, and people on boards or kite surfers to stay outside. So it's usually about 30 metres and it's a buffer so that we don't cross over into each person's activities.
Yeah, and the other flags, tell us about what's different in each state.
As I said before, We have very high visitations here, so our services tend to do a lot of signage. We'll have beach signage that will advise what the tide conditions are and the people who are on patrol and the length of time of the services. The other states, for example Victoria, they may only have a service that's offered in the morning or in the afternoon as opposed to all day. So they will probably not put up as much equipment. And as a visitor, the best thing that you could do is go down, talk to the surf lifesavers and ask them what service they offer.
Yeah, because they always put out the signs as well saying dumping waves, but you don't get those on this beach very often, is that right? They're more around near Mooloolaba?
And that's exactly what you've said's right, because the beach conditions dictate what signage you put up. For example, today we'll have a sign up advising that there's blue bottles, because we have a northerly wind coming down and that blows the blue bottles in from the water's edge. But it'd be a different wind over in WA because the sea's moving in a different direction and the prevailing winds are in a different direction. So the best idea really is talk to your lifesavers.
Yeah, talk to the lifeguard. I did that when I first arrived and had a chat with them. I wanted to know about the shark nets and what all that was about, and I think that's, I learned so much just from that 20-minute conversation, and it just made me feel so at ease and comfortable with our waters, or a lot more comfortable, I should say.
Absolutely. We have shark nets here in Queensland, but other states have baited hooks. And again, it depends on the currents that are outside. If you have a strong current off the beach, you can't put a shark net there because it will move all the time. So they'll actually put a baited, a buoy with a number of baited hooks to attract the sharks to that area. Maroochydore Beach is particularly interesting because we have not only an open beach, but we also have a river mouth very close. So on our beach, we'll actually do a lot of rescues for people who are trying to navigate across the river mouth, and they'll have incidents happen up there. So our job's got lots of variety in there.
Yeah, I reckon. You're helping all.
And the comradeship that you get through lifesaving is it's exceptional. It's probably the best organisation that I have been able to be involved in, and there's a lot of development that we do, both self-development and skills development through the training that's offered. Lots of opportunities. With some of our younger members who are more competitively minded, there's opportunities to go overseas and to compete at world and Australian titles. Or if they choose to, they can just remain on the beach and patrol. It's still a valuable service that they're giving us.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So how can people support Surf Lifesavers Australia, and how can people get involved and financially contribute to your organisation?
There's so many different levels of contribution that you can give. If you are a person who finds the actual physical requirement of doing a bronze medallion challenging, you can actually offer your services as someone who's qualified as a first aider. Or, for example, on this beach and a lot of clubs in Queensland, we have people who offer their time to provide support to our radio networks. If you want to become more involved, the requirement is that you attain a bronze medallion, which is a challenging exercise, but I don't think anyone who's gone through a bronze medallion training course comes out not feeling that they've reached something higher than they would.
Achievement.
Absolute achievement.
Success.
The other areas is we have quite a structured competition area, and we're always looking for people who can help us with that structure by doing officialing, doing support in the water support areas that we have out the back, or simply come along and just ask, can I help on the beach?
Yeah, absolutely, or have lunch. Or
have lunch, you can have lunch.
Use the lovely facilities in the surf clubs around Australia.
And that's one of the things that is different, is Queensland and New South Wales, we are able to have quite large supporters clubs because of the legislation here. That's not available in South Australia or Victoria. You'll find most of those clubs down there will just be very small facilities that house the life-saving equipment, and there won't be any function or fundraising facility. No supporters club.
Oh, so we have got a great service here in Queensland.
We have a fantastic service in Queensland, and it's getting stronger.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much, Narelle. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
your time and for talking to Living Down Under.
Thank you very much.
Tessa speaks with Matthew Flesser, National Sales Manager from Global Gossip.
Matthew, thanks for talking to Living Down Under today.
No dramas.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 26, so I was born in Queensland on the Gold Coast, where I've lived most of my life. I spent a lot of time travelling around Australia with my company, visiting different locations, and I'd have to say the Gold Coast is where I want to be. You know, the weather's awesome. There's a great nightlife. Plus, if you want to get into the hinterland and get into a nice rainforest walk or something, you can just travel 30 minutes out of town, and there you are. So
yeah, it's pretty renowned for its nightlife down there. So where's one of your favourite spots?
I'd have to say, look, I'm more into a live band and a nice beer. So there's a couple of different pubs down the Gold Coast in Surfers Paradise that you have a live band, a few drinks, and once you finish, then you can just go up the road to one of the nightclubs and away you go. So it's not uncommon to be coming home at 3, 4 a.m. in the morning with the sun coming up and spending the rest of the day in bed.
And many of the students that come to Australia do that kind of thing, don't they?
I think that's a very regular, especially the Americans and some of the other countries where they can't drink until they're 21 and they're coming over here at 20. So it's a bit of an eye-opening occurrence. There's a few stories about people waking up in random positions at God knows what hour with the cops helping them out. So yeah, so that's something to look out for when you do come to Australia.
Yeah, stay safe and don't drink too much.
Exactly right. Yeah, just there's a lot of campaigns going on at the moment to reduce drinking in Australia, and it's definitely something recommended.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about your work and what you do and how you can help people.
So basically, I work for a company called Global Gossip, who's fairly large in the travel industry. We've just launched a new mobile product that allows people to reserve their numbers before coming to Australia. So the advantages behind that is you can get your number 3-4 weeks before you arrive, give that out to your family and friends so they know how to contact you.
So everybody can contact you. Oh, that's fantastic. So that's an Australian number?
It is an Australian number, and when you sign up, you'll get information on how people from overseas can call you on that Australian number and how you can call overseas, so you can start contacting people straight away when you land. We've got 7 pickup locations currently in Australia in all the major capital cities. So it's a matter of just getting off the plane, visiting the pickup location that you choose, and then your SIM card will be activated waiting for you when you arrive.
So how do people go on and get one of these?
So you can visit our website, which is globalgossipmobile.com. On there you can see our rates. For example, we have 15-cent text messages overseas.
Wow,
and 15-cent text messages in Australia, which is awesome. So it's the same price for you to text me in Australia as it would be to text your friends back in the UK, which is very cheap. It's even actually at the moment cheaper for you to call the UK than it is to call someone in Australia. It's only 10 cents per minute to call from your mobile phone back to the UK, where it's 20 cents per minute to call someone in Australia. It's a bit bizarre, but that's the world we live in at the moment.
Yeah, and you service other countries, not just the UK. You service worldwide.
We do. So we've got specialised plans designed for all over the world. It doesn't matter if you're from Zimbabwe to the US to the UK. We've got special overseas calling rates to make it cheaper for you to call from your mobile phone and stay in touch. However, if you do have access to a landline or a payphone, our product also includes a calling card, so you can call at even cheaper rates than what you can do from your mobile phone as well.
That's fantastic. So show me what you would get in the mail then.
So basically you receive one of these little packs here. Included in that pack you get your SIM card, which looks like that there. That just goes inside your phone if you're bringing your phone from overseas. If you're traveling to Australia and only here for a short time and wanted just a cheap basic phones, that's what we specialise in, phones from $59. So something you can just use, throw away when you leave, or you can take it home and use it as a spare phone. You also receive a little card like this, which is actually a calling card, and also gives you access to our internet, because we've got 160 internet locations throughout Australia. We've also got 200 internet locations in New Zealand, and about to open up another 100 in the UK. So there's multiple uses for your credit when you get to Australia, and it's very easy to buy more credit while you're here as well.
Do people have to go into the shops? What do they need to go into the shop for then, the locations, the pickup locations?
So they just need to go into the shop and just ask for their name, which is where they'll pick up the SIM card from. One will be put aside with their name on the front and also with their mobile number. So they go and see our staff.
Oh, so that's not posted to them? They've got to go into the location?
They've got to go into the location. And our staff are there to assist them in activating the SIM card. It's just a quick 5-minute process on the internet. And away they go. So it's very simple and easy. They can add more credit on the spot, or they can add credit when they sign up to the product. If they get into any trouble, we've got a 24-hour helpline which is based in Sydney, which is important, and they deal with travellers and students and migrants every day, so they know the type of issues that our customers are going to encounter and hopefully be able to help them in a timely fashion.
So how can you ensure that people get coverage?
We use the Vodafone network in Australia, which covers 95% of all populated areas, so if they're planning to travel around Australia, they can guarantee they've got the best coverage in Australia.
Oh, that's a great service and a really great product, and thanks very much for your time.
No problems at all, thank you.